Hello, Gothamites, and welcome to Why Batman is a Horrible Boyfriend, the podcast where we spotlight the Dark Knight's problematic love life. I'm Joshua Lapin-Bertone. I don't have Bruce Wayne's wallet, I don't have his physique, I don't have his good looks, but at least I never gaslit my girlfriend by telling her that I was cheating on her because Batman personally asked me to do it as a favor. Yes, that's something that's happened, and I am going to talk about that incident in this episode. Now, just a disclaimer, I don't hate Batman. This isn't a Batman hating podcast. Love Batman. He's a great superhero, great character. Love Batman comics, love Batman media. Just think he's a horrible boyfriend. Great superhero, horrible boyfriend. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, to kick off this series, I decided to hit the ground running with one of my favorite chapters in Batman's problematic love life. It's a story called Your Face is Your Fortune from Batman issue 15. Cover's going to get your attention immediately because it features Batman, guy famous for hating guns, gleefully shooting multiple rounds from a giant gun, as Robin is awkwardly crouching by his side, facing Batman like he's his supervisor or something like, "You're doing good, you're hitting your marks, keep going." I don't know who they're shooting, but the dynamic duo have the biggest smiles on their faces, so they must really hate whoever they're blowing away. You're not going to get the answer to who they're shooting because this cover actually has nothing to do with the inside stories. This was published in 1943 when most comic book covers were irrelevant non sequiturs. Sorry, but it's fun to look at least. In this story, Bruce Wayne meets a pretty young woman named Elva Barr while he's judging a beauty pageant. Elva Barr is secretly Catwoman in disguise because at the time, Selina Kyle hadn't been established as Catwoman's real name, so in this story she goes by Elva while she's out of costume. Bruce Wayne immediately recognizes Elva as Catwoman but doesn't say anything because Bruce Wayne's not supposed to know who Catwoman is. Elva doesn't know that Bruce is Batman, as she is instantly smitten with this playboy socialite. Later on in the story, Batman catches Catwoman when she's trying to pull a robbery. During this era, Catwoman would wear a realistic cat mask, which, yikes, I'm glad they phased that out. Catwoman tells the Caped Crusader that she's in love with a man named Bruce Wayne, the guy she only spent a few seconds with after she won a beauty pageant, and that she'd be willing to give up her life of crime for him. Batman is sympathetic to her cause and lets her get away. Imagine if you're Riddler or Two-Face and you hear that this happened, that, like, you got punched in the face, Batman beat the snot out of you and sent you to jail, but Catwoman, he's like, "Oh, you're in love, and you promise not to do crime again? Okay, you can go, you can get away." If I was Riddler or Two-Face, I'd be rightfully ticked off. Batman has a plan, though, and he's decided that in order to reform Catwoman, he'll date Elva Barr as Bruce Wayne. After a romantic montage, Bruce Wayne and Elva Barr announce their engagement. This surprises Dick Grayson, who Batman didn't let in on the plan. So Dick is clutching the newspaper, looking at Bruce, and Bruce is looking very smug, and Dick says, "But Bruce, you can't do this. That Elva's the Catwoman. What's got into you? What about Linda? What about us?" The implication of this panel is that Dick had to read about the engagement in the newspaper. Imagine sitting with your adopted father at breakfast and asking him to pass you the newspaper, and you see the headline that he's getting married. "Dad, anything happened last night that you want to share with me?" Not only did Bruce forget to tell Dick, but he forgot to tell Linda, his actual girlfriend. Linda Page was a nurse who dated Bruce Wayne in the Golden Age. She'll be brought up a lot in future episodes because she was the victim of a lot of Batman is a horrible boyfriend behavior. I love this panel with Dick so much. His confusion and desperation is hilarious, and Bruce just shrugs him off, telling him nothing. But it is very telling that Dick brings up Linda before Bruce does. It's like Bruce Wayne got engaged, and he forgot that he already had another girlfriend. She's an afterthought. Evidently, Catwoman's goons are big Linda Page fans, just like Dick Grayson. When Catwoman announces that she's retiring from crime to marry Bruce Wayne, one of her henchmen replies, "Oh, that guy Wayne ain't in love with you. He's sweet on Linda Page. Everybody knows." Catwoman slaps the goon across the face. "How dare dare you say that? And to his credit, he replies, I'm only telling you the truth. I like this criminal. He doesn't care if Catwoman slaps him across the face. It's not going to stop him from warning her about a bad relationship. He's a friend first and a criminal second. It's funny that he thinks that Bruce is devoted to Linda because Bruce's actions throughout this story suggest otherwise. Robin and this henchman, let's call him Sam. The henchman's name is Sam, I've decided. Robin and Sam care more about the Bruce and Linda relationship than Bruce actually does. And Sam's warning actually does cause Catwoman to start having doubts. So now we're going to check in on Linda Page, because Sam's worried about her, Robin's worried about her, Bruce is. And so how is Linda taking this? Not well, because like Robin, she learned about this engagement by reading the newspaper. Seriously, Bruce. Poor Linda. Imagine opening up the newspaper, reading that your boyfriend is marrying someone else. The narration caption describes Linda as a hurt, bewildered girl, while the art shows her crying her eyes out. And I thought Bruce loved me. Oh, I hate him. I hate him. I don't care who he's engaged to. Are we sure that Batman's the good guy in this story? And we haven't even hit the worst part yet. So Catwoman decides to test Sam's theory out by disguising herself as Linda Page and confronting Bruce. The two of them meet for lunch, and Catwoman, disguised as Linda, asks Bruce about the engagement, and Bruce pulls out this whopper. Now listen, Linda, please understand, I'm doing a favor for the Batman. He asked me to do this. You must trust me, Linda, my engagement won't be for long. Bruce silently finishes this thought by thinking to himself, just long enough to get the Catwoman going straight. Since this is Catwoman disguised as Linda, she's naturally fuming and storms off. To be fair, I think the real Linda would have had that same reaction, and I think all of us would have too. Maybe some of us would have splashed water in his face or threw the breadsticks at him. Now, I hope that Catwoman, when she got back to her headquarters, apologized to Sam the Goon, because, he tried to warn her. We have so much to unpack from Bruce's explanation here. If he wanted to let Linda in on this plan, maybe doing it before the engagement was announced would have softened the blow. When was he planning on telling Linda about this? Because remember, this luncheon, this is Catwoman disguised as Linda, and she initiated this meeting. So Bruce was still planning on waiting this out, like the coward he is. Second, the whole "I'm cheating on you as a favor to Batman." It's one of the worst lines I've ever heard. Can we just let that explanation sit for a moment? I'm cheating on you as a personal favor to Batman? Bruce is expecting this to work. We as the readers know that Bruce is Batman, but in the context of the fictional DC universe, it would seem like Bruce is just making this up because he was caught cheating. And it's a great way to potentially expose your secret identity because it ties Bruce Wayne and Batman closer together. Not only does Bruce do the "I'm cheating on you as a favor to Batman" bit, but he tells Linda to understand and trust him while he continues doing engagement. Basically, not only am I cheating on you, but I need you to be patient because I'm going to cheat on you some more for a little longer. Very gutsy to give the "Batman made me do it" explanation, but tapping it off with "I am going to continue cheating and I need your patience." Next level jerk move. Anyway, Catwoman reacts by going on a crime spree and Batman catches her. Fun trivia note, this is the first story that ends with Catwoman going to jail. Every comic book before this had her escaping at the end. Catwoman solemnly tells Batman, "You're the only man who always wins." Well, you can't say I didn't try to go straight. And Batman gives her a smug high horse reply. "I'm afraid you're hopeless, Catwoman. There's only one place where I'm sure you'll go straight. In prison." Dude, I know she's a criminal, but don't act so high and mighty after you emotionally manipulated her. Show a little remorse here. Back at Wayne Manor, Bruce says, "Glad that's over. I hope Linda will forgive me now." Oh, you hope she'll forgive you now. Dick replies, "She will, Romeo, but will the Catwoman?" So clearly, Bruce has still learned nothing. Why is Dick so sure that Linda's going to forgive Bruce? By the way, Bruce never interacts with the real Linda at any point in this story. He still hasn't called her to explain the engagement to Elva Barr. And it's stupid that Dick is so sure that Linda will forgive him, But the ridiculous thing is, he's not wrong. Linda continues to date Bruce in future issues after this, as if nothing happened. Linda, why? What did Bruce say to get her to forgive him? Did he use the "Batman made me do it" line that he gave Catwoman when she was disguised as Linda? I'm really curious about how that conversation played out. This wraps up our first episode of Why Batman Is a Horrible Boyfriend. This was kind of a pilot episode, so thanks for checking it out. We're still getting things up and running, but the plan is to make this available wherever video and an audio version podcasts are made. I'm Joshua Lapin-Bertone. Tune in next time when Batman tells his girlfriend that he's cheating on her, but it's okay because it's his cousin. No, seriously, that's something that happened. Find out all about it in our next episode. Bye.